Today, we're diving into one of the most crucial aspects of starting a business, naming it. Choosing the right name for your business can significantly impact your brand's success. It's the first impression customers get, and it encapsulates your brand's identity. Join us as we discuss essential factors to consider when naming your business. Lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Bolts. I'm an attorney and founder of Bolts Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Bolts, owner of Bolts Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the Miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. Naming my first child wasn't as hard as naming my second and third children, because for years before I had children, I always would think about what would I name my child. And so I had a plan, but for my second and third child, I didn't think that far ahead before, and so it was much more challenging and more difficult. When it comes to naming your business, it is just as important as naming your child, because your business is the face of your product or service, and there's so many factors to consider. Naming your business is something that you should consider, obviously, when you're first starting out, but something you should continue to consider as time goes on, because sometimes your business name might not be working well for you. If you're finding that your potential customers are calling the wrong number or going to the wrong website because they're confusing you with someone else, or they're not remembering your name, that might be a sign that your name might need a makeover.
I agree. So we're going to discuss some of the key factors when establishing your business name. And the first one is brand identity and values.
So your business name should reflect your brand identity and values. It should give potential customers an idea of what your business stands for and what it offers. So a couple of names that I came across that I thought reflected their identity and values are, one of them is eco-sustain. So when I hear eco-sustain, I think of these are eco-friendly people. This is an eco-friendly business. I'm not exactly sure what their service is. I would think it would be something maybe in the environmental field, but I definitely know that their values and their identity centers around being ecologically responsible. Another example is my sister's chiropractic practice is named Breath of Life Chiropractic. And I think that name reflects her identity and her values. When I think of Breath of Life, I think of life-giving. I think of a business and a person who is looking to lift people up, to rejuvenate them. And so I think that as far as values are concerned, that is a strong name.
I agree with you 100%, because even if I didn't know your sister, I could tell by Breath of Life Chiropractic that was a big old hippie place.
Yeah.
But I do really love it because it really does speak to the volume of her passion and how she genuinely cares about each and every person. So one of the names that I really like, there's a couple of them, Cyber Guard, that to me just really clearly illustrates what they do, that they're there to protect you in regards to your cybersecurity. Another one I really like is Nature's Table. I'm not sure if they have any of these around. I feel like, do they still?
Yeah, most of the time I see them now. There's one at the airport.
Okay.
There's several of them at airports. So Nature's Table is in airports, and then I've seen them in office buildings too.
Okay, that's good to know because I know they used to be in the mall. Like that was the place to go when the malls were hip, but now like the malls are dying down, so I haven't seen very many of them. But I really enjoy that name because it tells you that you're going to be at a table where there's natural food to eat. So I really do enjoy those two names.
So the next factor to consider in naming your business is simplicity and memorability. A great business name should be simple and memorable. Complex names can be hard to recall and spell, potentially leading to missed opportunities.
I agree with this wholeheartedly. I know when I first started my business, I wanted something that was short and easy to remember. And I actually had a few different names that I was kind of tossing forth back in between, and then finally settled on Bolts Media, because to me it seemed very clear what it would be.
And because people know you and know that's your last name, it would be easy for them to remember the Bolts part of it because they know your name.
Exactly.
So a couple of examples that I thought exemplified simplicity and memorability were Payless Shoes. To me, Payless Shoes is a great example of simplicity and clarity because the name is easy to remember and it directly communicates the value proposition, affordable footwear. Customers immediately know what to expect, which helps in building trust and recognition. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple or Spotify are the best platforms for reviews.
2, join us for our free Friday Zoom calls at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. To RSVP, go to missbiz.com homepage, scroll down to Miss Biz Connects, and click the link.
3, follow us on social media. Our handle is at Miss Biz Podcast.
As always, thank you for your support.
Yes, this is so genius because it really tells you exactly what the company offers. They know exactly what to expect. So you don't ever have to have somebody come in and not know what it is that you do.
Another example of this is you break, I fix.
That sounds like an infomercial to me.
Well, it's a store that I actually just went there a couple weeks ago when my daughter dropped a glass bottle on my iPhone and broke the screen. So we went and paid $400 for a new screen at You Break, I Fix. And when I saw the name of it, I thought, I know exactly what they do.
Yes.
That's what I need. I broke. I need you to fix.
Yeah, I do like that. It's very descriptive. One thing to consider too when you're talking about creating a name that's simple and memorable is it going to be incredibly challenging for people to enter into your website when you purchase the domain? Is it going to be something that could potentially be misspelled? Is it something that if you had it embroidered on a work shirt, is it going to look right? Or is the name incredibly long? So those are just important factors to consider as well. And
some things you can do to figure out if your name is meeting these factors is say it out loud. Tell people about it. Say it out loud. Think it repeatedly and keep saying it, because if you find that you're tripping up on your words or you're getting tongue-tied, then it's probably not a good name. Write it down, look at what it looks like when it's written down, typed out, and get feedback from other people to see if it's clear and memorable. Ask them without telling them anything about your business. Tell them just the name and tell them what they immediately think. I have a new campaign that I'm considering and I'm trying to figure out the right name for it. And at my Tenfold meeting the other day, I used them as my focus group and I said, what are your first thoughts when you hear this slogan. And then I went through all the list and got their feedback on each one of them. And that doing something like that is so important because you, in your mind, sometimes assume people understand what your intention and what your message is, but they may or may not be receiving it. So taking people, not giving them any other information but the name, and getting their feedback on what they think of is a really good exercise.
Yeah, they can truly help you too by giving you additional ideas that you didn't even necessarily think of in the first place. So when naming your business, you need to decide between a descriptive name, which tells customers exactly what you do, and an abstract name, which might be more brandable and unique. So an example of a descriptive name would be Discount Auto Parts. I mean, it pretty much right in the name tells you what they do, just like the You Break, I Fix. So it's highly descriptive. It tells you exactly what it sells, and it emphasizes affordability, which is huge. That's going to appeal to customers within a certain demographic. And this type of name is beneficial for attracting customers looking for specific products.
Yes. So, but kind of you're getting very descriptive name, but you're losing out on the creativity aspect. So someone who's highly creative and likes to be unique might struggle with a name like Discount Auto Parts. But if you are a new business that isn't well known, this is probably going to be the best kind of name for you, because you need people to know quickly what you do and know if that's a good fit for them. So Discount Auto Parts is actually a really great name in comparison to, there's O'Reilly's Auto Parts, which also has the word auto parts in it, so you know what they do. But the O'Reilly's is I'm assuming it's a family name,
right?
And it doesn't convey a price point, whereas Discount Auto Parts is looking to attract those people who are looking to save money, and so that is going to appeal to, I would think, a broader demographic of people than just a name might. But your business you may not want to be perceived as the discount service provider. So if that's not you don't want to put discount in there, but just another factor to consider. So some of the more abstract names are things like Twilio. Someone told me last week about Twilio, and I had never heard of Twilio. And when I did hear about it, I had no idea what they did. And even after looking at their website, I still wasn't completely sure because I'm not a tech person. But it doesn't describe the business's services outright, but it's unique, and so it makes it stand out. So you have to decide which of these two avenues you want to take. The abstract names can be powerful if you have a strong branding strategy to explain what your business is about. For me, using an abstract name really should only be used if you have a ton of money to invest in getting that brand known. Amazon, McDonald's, Target, Nike, all of these brands are household names, but if they didn't have the funding to get those names known, nobody would know what those services were about. So that's what I think should be your primary consideration. And you know, what brought this topic to mind for me is I was looking on BNI's website. BNI is a networking organization I'm a part of, and you can go on the website and you can look and see who is in each chapter. So I was helping a friend to try to find a chapter that didn't have her seat filled. So I'm scrolling through the list of business names, and many of them I didn't know what they did by their name, and I had to click and then see, oh, they're an AC repair company or whatever they were. And I was seeing names that were like HEG and just acronyms and some of these abstract names, and I had no idea what they did. And because they're not household names, I had to go do further digging to figure out what they did. And if someone wasn't willing to go do that further digging, they may just skip past you because the name doesn't tell them enough about what they do. Another example of an abstract name, this isn't a business name, but it is a really creative name, is the Netflix series that is trending right now, Baby Reindeer.
Is there a baby and a reindeer?
No, there is neither. And I don't want to give it any spoilers, but the name comes from the storyline. It's a true story, and this has become hugely popular. It's a very, very entertaining and interesting story. But the name comes because one of the characters had a baby reindeer stuffed animal as a child that she cherished and that she held on to for comfort when she had a difficult childhood. And so when she later met a man who she felt comforted by and wanted to pursue, she nicknamed him Baby Reindeer.
Oh, okay.
And so then the whole show is about her basic obsession with and to the point of stalking of the baby reindeer. So once you watch the show, it becomes a really creative name. But if you just hear baby reindeer,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You're having images of Rudolph. You know, you're not thinking
right.
Stalker series. So it's definitely it doesn't meet some of these criteria. But Netflix obviously had the funding to make this unique name a hit and a sensation, and so coming up with a creative abstract name worked in this setting. But if you're not Netflix, if you're not Amazon, if you're not McDonald's, then you probably want something that's a little more descriptive. You don't want to be whack. Cuckoo. We will cut you some slack.
We got you.
You just want to make a big stack.
Ballin'.
Listen to our biz hack.
Get ready to increase your views and reach with this Instagram biz hack. Instagram Reel topics are your secret weapon to stand out in a crowded social media landscape. These Instagram Reel topics are tags that you can add to your Reels content to help categorize it for the algorithm. This feature aims to ensure that your content reaches the right audience, and adding them couldn't be any easier. Step 1, create and upload your Reel. Step 2, before hitting publish, tap add a topic. Step 3, select up to 3 relevant topics. By handpicking topics related to your industry, you're not just boosting visibility, you're unlocking untapped potential. Try it out for a week, compare the results, and you will be amazed at the difference. We need to come up with our own series that says Positive Potato.
That name's already been taken, though.
Well, I mean, Positive Potato-ish. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what they do. They just potatoette.
Carrying carrot.
Miss Positive Potato. They change it just a little bit. What's some other considerations?
Availability. Availability is huge. You want to make sure that you're checking to see if that domain is available. Also, the social media platforms. I know when I purchased my domain, that was available, but for whatever reason, the social media handles were taken. So that was kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. So you'll want to make sure that you take those factors into consideration so that you can really secure what you need for a professional presence.
There's nothing more frustrating than coming up with the best name and then finding out it has been taken.
Oh, you know what? This reminds me of the brookbolts.com. Do you want to tell that story?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I want this to be public knowledge, but I had one of my most embarrassing moments relating to my name. So a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, I thought I need to buy brookbolts.com. And I go onto GoDaddy and search it, and it is taken. And I am frustrated because I'm thinking, who took my name? I mean, I know there are probably other Brooke Boltzes out there, but the chances of there being other Brooke Boltzes who want to actually own a domain of their name, I just was like, dang it. So on GoDaddy, you can hire someone to go try to purchase the domain. And so I did that. I paid money to go buy brookeboltz.com.
How much did you pay?
It was like $70. I think it's like $69 or something. But that's just to engage the person who's going to then go make an offer for you. So I talked to the guy on the phone. He's like, how much do you want to offer for the domain? And so we came up with a number. I think it was like $500 we were going to give as our starting offer. And so next thing I know, I get a message from Mario, who is our IT guy for Boltz Legal, who's like, hey, someone's trying to buy brookeboltz.com from me. And I was like, oh, that's me. That's me. I'm trying to buy it. And he's like, you already own it. So this is what happens when you get in your 40s. You don't remember that you bought your own domain years ago and you try to buy it again from yourself.
That story makes me like laugh, cry every time I hear it. Every time I hear it. It is so funny that you spent money trying to buy back something that you already owned.
Yeah, well, what was so embarrassing was the fact that Mario got involved. So now it's not just me who knows my stupidity, but Mario knows it, my office manager knows it, and now the GoDaddy guy knows it.
And now all of our listeners know too.
Now everybody knows it. So
no secrets.
So before you go looking to buy domains, double check you don't already own them. Is the moral of the story. This month, we are celebrating the 1-year Miss Biz anniversary.
As a way to celebrate, we are offering a special giveaway brought to you by Boltz Media. And the prize is a logo animation, or it can be exchanged for a logo design. Here's how to enter. There's 3 steps. 1, you're going to want to follow us and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel at Miss Biz Podcast. 2, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. 3, comment your favorite Miss Biz episode on one of our social media posts. Once you've done all 3 things, send us an email to missbizpod@gmail.com to be entered to win. Your entries will be drawn on June 28th. I don't want you to ever call me a blonde. Ever. Oh my goodness. So some key points. We talked about domain availability. We talked about social media handles, but also something to keep in mind is if you ever wanted to get a vanity number, it would be really beneficial if you had something that wasn't already taken. And you can check availability for that at callsource.com.
Yes, I have spent hours and hours on callsource.com searching different vanity numbers. It is, let me tell you, if you haven't searched for one before, it is very hard to find one that's available. Very, very, very hard. If you're using your name, like I have 888 Boltz Legal, that was not too hard because it's a name, so it's not so popular. But if you're trying to do something in your field that is a keyword that people will recognize, it is incredibly hard to find one. I've done every variation of certain terms, and there's just not much availability at all. So
especially in your field, because I mean, you got very, very big law firms that have been in the game for years.
Yeah,
so
true. But even things that I've thought wouldn't be traditional law firm names or popular names, they're not available. I mean, it is hard to find a vanity number that is available. Now, short codes, I think there are more short codes available. Short codes are like a vanity number, but they're short. They're only 5 to 6 digits. Short codes, I think there's more availability, but they cost much more.
Yes, they're very expensive.
So that's some factors to consider when you're naming or renaming your business. I hope this helped you. Again, this is something you should assess on an ongoing basis, because having a good, solid business name is really where it all begins. It needs to be a strong, memorable name.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.